West Ham will be looking to give up our slender, won't be looking up I can't even speak, Matt. I can't even speak. What has happened, mate? What has happened? West Ham will be looking to give their slender top four hopes a boost when we resume our Premier League campaign at home to struggling Everton. On Sunday afternoon, West Ham suffered a 3-1 defeat to Tottenham in our last league game before the international break, while Everton lost 4-0 to Crystal Palace in the FA Cup last time out. Welcome back to the West Ham Network. I'm Anton. I'm joined by Matt. We're back for Premier League football, mate. International football is done for a little while longer. How are you feeling?
Thank God. It's an absolute. I don't know about you, but it's an absolute bore, mate. I'm not.
Mate.
I just don't get me wrong. I actually did enjoy some of the football, but that's because there was actual, it wasn't England football though, because there was actual international games that had some sort of meaning.
Yeah.
These friendlies and these Nation League things are just boring. It just unnecessarily breaks up the season. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, no.
But like you said, thank God Premier League football's back. We can forget about it all for a while again.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well, listen, I mean, that is obviously, everything's going off, man. My phone's ringing, you name it. The full shebang is happening tonight. So we haven't been here for a while. We haven't done a matchday build-up show for quite a while. Everton come to the London Stadium tomorrow. Before we go and discuss Everton, let's go and take a look and see what happened the last time out we both played each other. Very successful day at the office, mate. That was last time round. Before we get into it, if you are new around here, please go and click that subscribe button. We're on the route to 20,000 subscribers, you could say. So go ahead, click that subscribe button. Beside that, there's a bell notification. If you hit that bell notification, that will notify you when we do have all the shows that are coming out left, right, and center. On top of that, though, if you've not done so already, please make sure you go and check out some of the content we've had on the channel recently. In particular, go and check out the Tony Carr interview, one of my favorites. I don't know if you've watched it, Matt. Tony Carr with Russ. If you haven't, go and check it out, mate. Really, really insightful information. Really, really good stuff that came from what do you call him? Tony Carr. Really, really nice guy and just really valuable information as a West Ham fan. So if you haven't already, go and check it out. Really, really good. But we'll move on and we'll get on to the Everton thing. We'll come through the chat as well. It's time to talk the opposition. Let's talk Everton. Right, Matt, how do you want to say it? Big Fat Frank, is he coming back to London Stadium? How are you feeling about Everton, mate?
I don't have time to talk about Everton. We haven't got long enough. They are seriously, and you know what? In fairness, it's not Frank's fault. They're an absolute. Go back 2018 when we had the protest on the pitch. That is where they are right now.
Yeah.
£500 million down the drain on players they don't use, they haven't worked out. They started the season with Benitez, who was basically for them, Big Sam didn't play the football they wanted. They've brought in Lampard, who does play the football they want, but the players just aren't good enough, aren't gelling, too old, and he brought in players he didn't need. He needed first team starting defenders, and he brought in Van der Beek and Dele Alli. This could be a good time for them to play us. We'll get into that in a bit, but we don't know what he's going to think about with Europe on the horizon. Everton have got some players back. Richarlison's finding his way back in. Calvert-Lewin is just about getting back in, and he's been a monumental miss to them. probably will line up in a similar formation to us. 4-2-3-1. Just lost Townsend for like a year, I think, with a cruciate, which is a big miss for them because he's been one of their better players since they brought him in.
Actually, it's funny you say that. Huge miss for Everton. I mean, I think when he had signed for them, in particular, some of the fan base at West Ham were like, "Why did we miss a trick with him?" Because yeah, absolutely.
He's a consummate professional footballer. He's a left-footed winger, plays on the right wing. He's not the quickest anymore. He's still got a bit of pace about him, but his technique and his delivery is fantastic. And it's something that all teams need. And you said he's come in. He's got a good attacking outlet. He's a very intelligent player. Likes cutting off the wing. He was giving them options. Him being out injured probably brings someone like a Wobie back into the forefront. I mean, he did score a goal the other week against Newcastle when they won 1-0. But I mean, I think I've seen somewhere they've picked up 12 points in 22 games.
Yeah.
Like if they didn't have a reasonable start to the season when Benitez was in charge, they would be in very, very murky water right now. Like that is sort of keeping them afloat. Lampard's pulled out two wins. Last time out, they played Palace in the Cup, and it was embarrassing. Like it
really was.
And the thing is, as well, it's not just the fact that the team was embarrassing, but then Lampard came out after the game and was like, there's only so much I can big players up that aren't good enough. There's only so much I can say if you've got the balls to step up, and you don't. And there wasn't that much between us. They just got a couple of lucky goals, and we were sloppy. No, they were generally awful. Like they looked. Yeah. They don't look like they care. They don't look like they're trying.
No.
It's I'm expecting it to be different tomorrow. You'd like to think with 2 weeks off, someone like Duncan Ferguson's probably got into them on the international break. Was like, no, you need to sort this out.
Yeah.
But they sold the left back in January, didn't you? And they now don't have a left back. They're playing Ben Godfrey at left back.
Yeah. Whose career's kind of taken a bit of a weird turn, really, hasn't it? Because up until I don't really know what's really happened with him, because he's really playing
he was
out of position, isn't he? Yeah, promising.
It wasn't this season Norwich. It was 2 years back when they went down and they had this strew of talent Norwich, and it was like, was it Max Aarons, Ben Godfrey, was it Jamal Lewis, and who was the centre attacking mid? He was there this season. He had a falling out, and he's gone down to the Championship.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. It's going to annoy me now. But they had this strew of talent, and like Norwich, Everton picked up Godfrey. You thought it's going to push on. But I mean, I suppose Yerry Mina has been a massive miss for them again. We think that he's been missing a lot this season, and Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah,
it's like a core of their players. But
yeah,
I mean, look, I like the bloke, but they're still pursuing with Coleman.
Well, then, the question I asked then, while we're talking about Everton, is will they go down, mate? Will they go down? I mean, they're in real danger, aren't they?
I said to my mates back at Christmas, they're still in it. I think they will stay up, just about. But that's not because of them. That's because the other three teams.
The other teams there.
And the only one that could get out of it is Burnley. And that's got to be Everton's worry. Yeah. Everton's problem is they've still got to play 5 of the top 6, or 6 of the top 7 in their last 8 games.
Yep.
I hope they stay up. I like Everton. But look,
they can stay up. They can start. They can start working on that trajectory of going up the way after tomorrow. Yeah. After tomorrow,
he wasn't the right manager. I said that at the start. I still don't think he is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get the most out of that team.
Yeah.
For what it is.
Mike Theory saying their team spirit looks low at the moment. So many comments. I've put them up as well. I seen that Gatesy. I actually just literally before we came on hit a like on your Facebook page. So if anyone didn't know, Tony Carr's released his book. He was out signing it today. I think he's signing it somewhere tomorrow morning. I can't remember exactly where it was, but go and check it out if you are. Where is it here? Mike is saying if Everton go down, they need Big Sam to get them back up, then a proper manager to sustain them in the Prem. Lampard is too inexperienced to manage them at the moment.
Well, I don't think Sam will go back there. That's the funny thing. I don't know. They put themselves into a position where Benitez was that, but evidently, like the players all didn't like Benitez. You know, I think Digne come out recently in an interview in France over the international break and said that he basically questioned. He stepped up for the dressing room and was like, "Why are we playing negative tactics when we got these attacking players?
Yeah.
Why are we playing for ourselves? It's not like you're not getting the best out of the team." And Benitez then basically sold him, but then got sacked 3 days later anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
So I mean, but that's the thing though. Like I think he's burnt his bridges with pretty much every club he has managed, mate. But you know, Frank
the problem
Lampard
they've got is that
is
they're going to have to sell players as well, regardless of whether they go down or not. It's well talked about in the media that Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are probably on their way out.
Yeah, I mean, he's
because
been linked
of financial
to us.
Fair play.
He's been heavily linked to West Ham over the last couple of windows, and I mean, now you're starting to get some pundits speaking out saying, you know what a fit for him. I mean, he was prolific over the last couple of years. He's had an injury this year. He's been missing quite a lot. He's got 3 goals this season.
Didn't he break his foot? Was he broke a toe or something this year? And that's what
something like
done
that.
him.
Yeah.
And outside of that, he's only missed about a handful of games in about 3 or 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So, but I said he's been a massive miss. The big thing for them as well is that they didn't have a backup centre forward, didn't have a plan B.
Yeah.
You know, they brought in a guy that we were sort of with Rondon, who finally looks like a year too old. But again, they don't. I don't know where to go with them because you list some of their players. Like you look at Pickford. He had a fantastic internationals again, played some brilliant saves.
Mm-hmm.
Decore in the midfield, brilliant dynamic box-to-box player. Kane in defence. So you said Richarlison, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But then you got the flip side of it. You see what they brought in recently. They sold Digne for 25 million. They brought in, is it Patterson from Rangers?
The Scottish lad,
who hasn't really had a chance. But I can't see why you wouldn't give him a chance when, as good as Coleman is, it's sort of like when we brought in Zabaleta. It just got to the point where he was too old, he was too slow.
Yeah.
And people were just like, I think you go back to the game the other week against Tottenham and Harry Kane's running past him. When Harry Kane's running past you, your time's up because he's not a quick player. They brought in a Ukrainian lad to play left back who's not playing now either. He's been dropped out and Godfrey's playing there.
Yeah.
Dele Alli. There's already talk like they're going to sell him. They're going to try and ship him on in the summer.
You know what? I don't want to get in a debate and talk about players and transfers, etc. But if there's a manager that could get the right thing out of Dele Alli, I think it actually would be a Moyes type manager. But because he was at Tottenham, he was never, of course, going to go, and the fee that's been paid, etc. But it'll be interesting to see what happens come the end of the season for Everton. But we have spoken enough about Everton. Get your comments in. Let us know your thoughts.
Not enough time.
Yeah. Sharky saying Frank Lampard Jr. is our brand new. Dele Alli is finished from Mike Theory. Kimbo says, Mike, I'd love Everton to go down, so just we try and nick him. Where are we? Kimbo saying, agree with you, Mike Theory. Gordon looks a really good prospect for the future. Mike is saying Ford's true, but I think he should manage a championship side for a while. The manager Prem team. P. Gads is saying getting Lampard was a bad idea. Rafa was worse. There you go. Anyone wants to know, he is signing at noon in Westfields tomorrow. Tony Carr. So if you're interested, get across to the Stratford early doors and go meet him. But let's talk about our beautiful club, mate. I mean, we've spoken enough about Everton today. Let's get on to our beloved West Ham. Right, and as we normally do, we go and have a look and see what the gaffer had to say in his press conference. We haven't done a few press conference shows over the last couple of weeks, but let's go and take a look and see what he had to say. And as per usual, mate, he's a busy man. He was asked questions left, right, and centre. But I've chosen kind of 3 or 4 particular slides from the press conference that I think would be beneficial for us to look over. First and foremost, he was asked about Manny Lanzini's was involved in a crash over the weekend. He's safe, he's healthy, so nobody needs to worry about it. But he was asked about potentially what would happen and would there be any impact. He said, I can't tell you what happened because I wasn't there and I only got the information you boys have got. The car went into a ditch off the road. He's a bit sore, but he's okay. It was terrible for any of us. We don't want to go on too much about it. It happens in all walks of life. It happened to Manny, but he is okay, thankfully. Do you think that has a kind of impact on him even remotely playing at the weekend, or you could see him that not mean a really major effect, Matt?
It just depends how he's feeling, like physically.
Yeah.
Because I know that he walked away from it, but I was in a car crash before, and I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like 3 days later, my neck was killing me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue.
So,
yeah, innit? Well, see, that's the thing. So I suppose they'll just manage him day to day, really, with regards to that. He was then went on and asked about team news, and of course, the big topic of conversation was Jared Bowen. On top of that was Soufal. He said there's a chance that both could make it, Bowen and Soufal. Both did a bit of training over the international break, so a chance both can be there. I'm not quite sure they're match ready yet. That's my only concern. He goes on and talks about Bowen particularly. He says, I expect him to be on the pitch in the coming weeks, but I don't know about this week. I expect him to be on it shortly. He's a miss for us, but we've had periods where he missed other key players and he got through it. We've missed him for a couple of weeks now. Hopefully he's not too far away. What do you take from that then, mate? Does Bowen feature at all in the game against Everton?
I reckon he'll be on the bench.
Yeah, I think he will as well. Yeah.
I reckon because I think he's going to look at it for the Europa League games. And so if he can get 15 minutes out of Bowen at the end just to give him a run out, I think he'll do it. I think if he's been in training, there's enough to get him on the pitch.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't start him. But, the international break kind of came at a good time. It gave him a little bit of extra time to get over it and get back in again. So Moyes will want him involved. I don't see him starting, but I think he'll be in the squad. Yeah.
I completely agree with you as well. He was asked about the next 5 games as well, and he said, I'm really excited about this period, and I can sense that in the dressing room, we've got a lot of good things going on. We're challenging. We want to stay amongst those at the top, but we'll take one game at a time. We're looking over that horizon of what might be there as well. Our focus initially is we'll see if we can beat Everton at home and keep a good position in the league. I mean, he went further on and spoke about the fact that we've got Lyon coming up as part of those next 5 games. I won't go too in depth about the Europa League because we'll do a preview in relation to that in the coming week. But, West Ham have a real opportunity here, mate, to really take it to, the world of football and European football and really, give something here. But he has always stated the bread and butter is the Premier League, and we are in contention in the Premier League with 8 games to go. I mean, do you even consider risking players, mate, or not? What are you doing?
I don't think he'll be bothered tomorrow, purely because we've just had 2 weeks off. I think he'll just put his best team available out. Yeah. I think when you get towards next weekend is when it might get interesting. If we get a 2-0 win, say Thursday night, and then you've got Brentford next weekend,
and
he might then look at dropping players and being like, because pundits speak about it now. They talk about it on the radio as well. Top 4's gone. Realistically now, we're probably going to finish 6th or 7th. So at what point does Moyes want to just try and chuck all his eggs in the European basket? Like you said, he won't to an extent, but I think tomorrow will be a solid, probably. I don't think he'd really risk dropping anyone tomorrow because he'll want that win. Yeah. Just try, especially with Wolves winning today, to try and solidify that top sort of 6-7 finish.
Yep. Absolutely. Some of the comments in here, I'd rather have Prince Nazim have it. Hi, Anton, Matt, Howdy Hammers, EP Proper Football's back, Skizzle Base. I haven't seen you for a while, Skizzle, mate. Hope you are well. I think we can get 5th this season. So many comments in, and if you are new around here, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. So we've gone through that, mate. So I think it is that time. I mean, I'm rattling through the preview today because I am on a bit of a tight schedule because I've got something else I need to get up to this evening. So we're going to ask you, we're going to start building the team, the starting 11. Who do you think will be in the starting 11 for the game tomorrow? So start putting your comments in the comment section. We'll go through them as well. Name your starting 11 from goalkeeper all the way through to the top, and talk to me about formations as well. And then myself and Matt will start to build up the team as we go along. Right, Matt, it is time, the exciting time of the day where me and you build our starting 11 with all the conversations going on in the chat as well. Goalkeeper, mate. Goalkeeper. No changes there, really, is there? Ariola's become the cup keeper. Fabianski's become. Is that, was that
I
you
don't
put,
say anything. That's my point. Just
right?
there.
Right, but you've put that up on the basis of the fact that that's what you would like to happen, but you think is not going to happen.
Yeah, it's still Fabianski,
Right,
isn't it?
cool.
And in fairness,
For
in
me,
fairness though, we go back to before the international break. We had that Aston Villa game. He did make that fantastic save, didn't he? So, and then Ariola made a really good save in the Europa League. But then we had the Tottenham game, which sort of was a downer and didn't really work out. But they're both sort of in good form at the moment, so you couldn't really argue either way. Moyes likes Fabianski as the league keeper, so that's what it'll be.
yeah, absolutely. Formation then, mate. Formation. Let's go for the formation. How do we get this back up again? So he's been trying to test in a few formations over the past couple of weeks, but he's kind of resorted back to the 4 in the back of defence. What do you think is going to happen for the game tomorrow?
Yeah, Everton will play a back 4, and Everton pretty much play the same formation we do. So
yeah,
if they're only going to play one up front, I can't see him really going back to a back 5. And like I said, it didn't really work. I'm not going to lie. Like, we tried it against Tottenham, and it just didn't work, did it?
No.
So
I think the thing is, I think it can work. It's just how and at what time do we change it? If it's not working, do we have the players in the park to be able to switch those formations quickly into a back 4 from a back 5? But it didn't happen that way. So are we going with Creswell then in the left back position?
I'm sure so. I mean, he did go off. Did he not get subbed off against Spurs? But
yeah, it looks like he's fine, mate. You've seen all the training videos this week as well.
Exactly. So I'm assuming, and Moyes hasn't said anything, so I'm assuming he's fine, in which case he's straight in.
Yeah, absolutely. Other side then, we've got Ben Johnson, who's been performing out of his skin. I've been absolutely delighted with him, but we're hearing rumours kicking about that Sofal should be back in the squad tomorrow, but there's no way that Ben Johnson drops out of the team, does he?
No.
He stays in there. So
it's his spot at the moment. It's his spot to lose.
Yeah. And it's good to see Sofal back, though. It is good to see him
Gives you options, but
yeah, absolutely. Right, centre back pairing. Diop sticks to the bench, mate, and we've got the usual suspects. Zuma in there,
yeah.
And Dawson in protection.
Yeah,
cool. And then, I mean, no point in beating about the bush here. Tommy Soucek, who of course got a goal, international duty. He done well, and it's good. I think that's, I'll put Rice in here as well. But in terms of Tommy Soucek, let's talk about him for a minute. Getting a goal in international duty, talk to me about the benefits of that and then coming back into your club team.
It will give him confidence, won't it? But it'll also give him confidence like the goal we got in the Europa League game.
Yeah.
Because it looked like Moyes must have had words with Rice and gone, yes, you can still get forward, but you need to pick and choose when. You can't just keep going forward every time.
Yeah.
Because it looks like having Rice sitting a lot more and letting Soucek go a lot more is sort of benefiting us. We're getting the more of Soucek in the box. We're getting the old Soucek back, which is what we need. We do. I think maybe Lanzini coming into it in the middle sort of helped the situation, because it's almost flirted round to when we had the lockdown on Project Restart and it was Noble, Rice and Soucek, and they all took it in turns being the guy to get forward. It's like Lanzini's come into it and enabled that sort of system to work again.
Yeah.
But we know Soucek can make them late runs and get the headers and get good, decent shots in the box. It's just formation-wise and tactics hasn't enabled it. But
yeah,
if he can get that bit of confidence coming back into what is a big last run of the season, if he can go on a bit of form like he did last year, get 5 goals in the last 8 games, could be pushed up the table again. Could be some really important goals coming up from him.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Just quickly, GP, thank you very much for becoming a YouTube channel member. I was actually going to put the link in tonight because we were messaged by 2 people on our Facebook page asking for the link of how you join. So I'm going to put it in just now. Interested in joining our membership? I'm just going to give you the link. We've got some really exciting giveaways coming out for the members as well. Interested in joining our membership. please click this link. There you go. And I'll put that in the chat. And all you need to do is just click that link there as well. But yeah, mate, I totally agree with you. I think it depends on the fan, the West Ham fan that you are. If you depending on the Tommy Souček performances you've been getting this season, I've not been disgruntled by them because I think a lot of fans have judged them on the basis of the fact that he's not maybe got as many goals as what he did last season. I don't think they've judged them. I'm not kind of speaking out of turn here, but I don't think they've misjudged them completely. I just think that, when we don't see the 10 goals,
to do a different job.
He's been asked to do a different job.
It's context.
Yeah.
Are you the new generation where it's all like? I mean, I like a stat, but stats aren't the be all and end all. And if you watch a game and you see what he does, you'll be like, well, you can see what he's doing.
Yeah.
But he's not got 10 goals this season. Well, no, he's not. But he's been expected to sit deeper and cover for Rice, who's been doing more going forward, who's had a bigger impact himself at the other end of the pitch. So he's like, if you expect him to be like the physicality of Souček, but then sit deep and have the passing vision and ability of Lanzini, that's not what he is.
Yeah.
Don't forget when Moyes brought him in, he brought him in as like a new Fellaini. And that's the style of player he wants, and that's what Souček is.
Yeah.
And it's just finding a way to get that into his team. And this re-emergence of Lanzini as like a number 10 that'll also be a deep line playmaker, like we saw in the second leg of the Seville game, where he sat and Souček basically played second centre forward, let Souček get further forward. So I suppose maybe you've got to say it's tactics, and it's taking each game like Moyes does on its premise and sole basis. And what do you want from Souček in that game?
Yeah.
Do you want him to sit and be destructive, or do you want him pushing on past Antonio to get headers in?
Gary Underwood saying Souček and Rice, two of the best centre defensive midfielders in the league right now. Completely agree with you, mate. And Skizzlebase says Souček did put in a big shift for the Czechs. He absolutely did. Ruruno 10 Shins is saying any updates in Bowman. We've already spoke about it, but give you the brief update. I mean, we know he's in training. It's just whether or not he's touching goal, whether he'll be in the starting lineup. But me and Matt are predicting that he'll be on the bench, and we may see him come off the bench, because if he is going to be remotely fit for the Lyon game, Matt, that it's important to get some game time under his belt.
Yeah, he needs to get some sort of minutes in.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, let's move into the rest of the team here. So let's go to the forwards. I think it's a no-brainer, mate. Antonio goes in there, yeah. What's your kind of opinion on what's happening with Antonio? I mean, are you in the side of fan bases that want to rest him, drop him? Where are you at?
He's finally had a rest. He finally got a rest.
Yeah.
I think this is the first international break this season when he hasn't played. And I was like, thank God they didn't pick him, because it's irrelevant. They couldn't qualify. There's big pressure on them, Jamaica, to pick more homegrown players themselves rather than foreign players, international players. So, but we all said he did need a rest. He did.
Yeah.
That's nothing against him. That's just the way he plays and how many minutes he's expected to do. So, for this last run in, the fact that he's managed to have a rest has been fantastic. You should see. I don't want to say an entirely different Antonio, but you might see a more busky, busy Antonio like we saw at the start of the season, because he's had 2 weeks off or a week off or whatever.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping.
There you go. Yeah. Well, you're kind of hoping that this break will do him the world of good, and we can kick on again and find the form of earlier in the season from Antonio that we've missed for so long. That leaves us with 3 more positions to go. So we're basing that on the fact that Bowen will be on the bench, so won't start the game. And that leaves us with Benny, Pablo Fornals, Vlasic, Lanzini, and Yarmolenko. And let's go through the middle then. Lanzini.
If he's fine from his car accident, he'll start.
Yep. And if
especially
he's not,
he can't play on Thursday.
Yeah, but if he's not, then what happens?
If he's not, then the 3 guys sitting on the left will play, and you've got to pick what position you want.
Yeah. So let's go with what you think Moyes will do.
Again, it's really hard because it's the Lanzini thing. If Lanzini's fit, Lanzini will start at number 10.
Yeah.
And he'll have Fornals one side and Benrahma the other. Right?
Yep.
That'll be the first team. Like, I think you'll find something along those sort of lines will be the team tomorrow. Maybe Benrahma on the other side, just because Fornals and Creswell work really well together.
They do, but he never plays him there. He never plays him there unless he's playing in a wing-back role, really. You know, Fornals will be out on the right-hand side.
And then if Lanzini's missing, Fornals in the middle and Vlasic on one of the wings.
Yeah.
But I think the team that's there now is the team that I'm expecting to start tomorrow. Because I think from what everyone said that Lanzini seems okay. He went straight off to training after the accident, didn't he? He walked away from it, got checked, and went down training that day. So on that basis, you think that he's fine. If he's fine, that's the team for me that will play.
Right, let me see the second team then. If the biggest concern really for West Ham tomorrow is the fact that we don't know how okay Lanzini is, especially if you come off of a car accident. As we know, you can always feel the reoccurrence of any injury you've got from that, maybe 2 or 3 days later. So we're kind of just basing this next decision on the fact that he doesn't make the game.
If he doesn't, then I would say Vlasic would come in.
And do you think Vlasic will go in that position?
No, I reckon to put Benrahma in there.
Yeah, I agree.
I would actually rather see Fornals in there.
Yeah,
because I think Benny sometimes struggles in the middle, but I think Fornals' work rate on the wings too much for Moyes to move him out. So that would be the only change I'd expect if Lanzini's not available, and that'd be like the only change. It'd just be 10 and 11 will start, and it's just, is it going to be Vlasic or Lanzini based on... Who knows, though? Maybe we get there tomorrow and Bowen started.
You wouldn't be surprised, mate.
Moyes has pulled out his smoke and mirrors again.
Well, let me read through some of the comments and see what everyone else is saying. Lawrence Watkins saying I'll possibly bring Bowen in for the last 30 minutes. Skizzo saying would bench Bowen, give him 15 minutes at the end. The thing is, though, Matt, it could be that whole smoke and mirrors, and like you said, we could be sitting here trying to guess the game, and suddenly the next minute, Bowen starts the game for West Ham tomorrow, and he's firing on all cylinders. But we'll just have to wait to see. Gary Underwood is saying the wings are so hard to choose from. Robert Singleton says get the 3 points back above Wolves with 3 points. Gary says it's a shame England lost Antonio. Kimbo said he's had a rest, now he can go and get a hat trick. Sharky says I wonder if he'll play for Jamaica again. GP says Antonio will play for Jamaica until he's 38. Don't have much depth. On the left is the only position we have depth in, from Gary Underwood. Lawrence is in the house. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Moyes should work his magic to convert Fornals. A striker. There you go. That's a different one. The car rolled over more than Grealish. Lanzini was unlucky. God. Sad to hear about Manu. Is Hammerette okay? Yeah, well, we don't know where Hammerette is. Is she in the chat yet? No, she's not here yet. Gary Underwood, Trev, that's a good shout, to be fair, mate. Hey, Kimbo, hope you're okay, confident about tomorrow, but I'd have Cardiff in my treble today. Let me show you the 2 potential starting lineups then. That is based upon the fact, this team here is based on the fact that if Lanzini doesn't make the game due to that car accident and he's feeling any kind of pains, then we think that would be the starting lineup. Fornals out on the right, Benny through the middle, Vlasic out on the left. And then if Lanzini is able to make it, Vlasic drops to the bench and Benny goes out to the left, Lanzini through the middle, and Fornals out on the right. But either way, though, Matt, strong 11s that we've got there. Good preparation for the quarterfinals. It's going to be a big, big game for West Ham tomorrow to be able to try and, keep within touching distance of the teams above us, because obviously with Wolves' victory today, West Ham are currently sitting in 8th in the league. So if you are watching, give me your predictions. Let me know your predictions for the game tomorrow. How big is the game tomorrow, Matt? I know we say this every week, but how this particular game coming on the back of a international break?
We need probably, I'd say, to get top 7. We need at least 4 wins.
Yeah.
And we've still got to play Chelsea, Man City,
Arsenal.
Yeah. So realistically, you're looking at the other 5 games, saying we need to get 4 wins from them 5 games. Obviously, we could do something against Chelsea, but against Man City might still be in the Champions League, and then that's all to play for. But yeah, the other 5 games we've got left are all going to be ones where we really need to get 3 points. So, I mean, like I said, this to push us back level with Man United.
Yeah.
Obviously, they drew today, so it put us level with Man United and Spurs. Just sort of keeps you just in sort of in the hunt, but top 5/6. It's a big game, and obviously, if we can get the win, gives us a bounce to go into Thursday as well. So,
well, let me give you the comparison between the two teams just now. Everton have played 27 games to West Ham's 30. They've won 7 to West Ham's 14. They've lost 16 to West Ham's 10. They've scored 29 goals, mate, to West Ham's 49 goals. And another interesting stat is they've conceded 47 to West Ham's 39. They've got 5 clean sheets for the season to West Ham's 7 clean sheets. Everton's top goal scorer is Demarai Gray this season with 5, Richarlison with 4, Calvert-Lewin with 3. Decor is their top assister with 4, Richarlison with 3. Yeah, it's going to make for an interesting game. But yeah, go for it, mate. Give me your predictions. Let me know your thoughts.
I think with Calvert-Lewin back, I could potentially see Everton scoring. I do think we'll win. I think we should. I don't want to say this because I hate international breaks because we always come back, especially that first 45 minutes after international break. We play absolutely awful. I'm going to go 3-1 just because I think Everton will probably have enough up top with the Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin combo back and the young Gordon on the wing.
Yeah,
I think they'll have enough to score a goal, but I still think we've got enough to win.
So you're going to go 3-1?
3-1, yeah.
I'm going to go 4-2. I'm going to go 4-2. I think that you always find this time of the season that teams have a bit of fighting spirit, but you can't deny whatsoever that what we're watching week in and week out with Everton isn't looking fantastic and isn't looking great. And I think the fan base, the home crowd, mate, plays into our hands a lot, especially that night against Seville, how special it was. And if we can replicate that noise and replicate that atmosphere, as close as we can to it, that's going to give us the 12th man, and that can take the players over the line. And we're starting to see a lot of the clips coming back out, and I wouldn't be surprised if Moyes is reminding the players of that, that night and how special it is. Preparing the mindsets for Lyon. He'll want consistency. He'll want motivation going into this game. And what a way to get motivation by turning up and getting the double over Everton. Historically, not a great club for West Ham to play against in the Premier League, but we've already beat them once this season. Let's go and do the double over them and then prepare ourselves properly for the Europa League tie against Lyon. And if you can do that and you can get 2 wins on the bounce, mate, then we're setting ourselves up nicely for the Brentford game, setting ourselves up nicely for the Lyon away. So that's why I find this game to be really, really important for West Ham. To make sure we get as many points and goal scorers as well on the board. But the thing is, Everton can score goals. We know that. We know Richarlison, if he hits form, he can find the back of the net. We know Calvert-Lewin, if he hits form, can find the back of the net. As much as it pains me to say it, we know, Iwobi's the sort of player that probably would score against West Ham. And yeah, they've got quality in that team. It's just that they've not got a manager that can work out, and they have got missing pieces of the jigsaw. But I think we've got enough there to do them. So I'll go with 4-2 West Ham. Kimbo saying 3-1 West Ham. Pat Holland saying 2-1 West Ham. Gary Underwood saying 3-1 to West Ham. Gatesy saying not a pretty spectacle tomorrow. Tough watch, 2-1 West Ham. If anyone doesn't know, Gatesy's part of the Forge from Irons YouTube channel. Make sure you head across there, hit the subscribe button, go and check out their content on Gatesy and Duke's channel. Really good content, so go and do that as well. Skizzle Base, we're so lacking in pace. It's a miracle we've done so well in the league. Gary Underwood, massive tomorrow from us. Stuart K saying, yeah, okay, Kim. Oh, sorry, hope everyone's okay and safe. PGAD's 3-1 West Ham win. Benny hat-trick. I mean, if something like that was to happen, Matt, I mean, that would be huge for Benny, though, wouldn't it? Bloody hell.
I'll take him getting a goal at this point, to be honest, to get his confidence up a bit. I think he'd have to be like prime confidence to hit a hat-trick. I can't see it. Unless Everton go to an absolute shambles at the back again.
But he's had a hat-trick of assists in his last 3 games, so, you know, and that's the thing. Like, when he got pulled off against... Who was it he got pulled off against? He got 2 assists. Sorry, he had a terrible first half. Who was it? Villa. He had a terrible first half. And he got 2 assists.
And then he had the goal against Spurs.
Yeah, and a goal against Spurs. So playing on form. Ludders saying we don't score many goals in a game now, so we'll be close. Gary Underwood, we should be sitting in Champions League spot still. Sharky, Antonio will play a blinder. We'll score 3 and West Ham win 5-1. Love it. GP 5-0. Going to smash them. Then there's Lampard at his team. Yeah, Stuart, I hope your mum's okay and keeping well. So please let her know we're thinking of her. Peter Jones, a good game and a win would be really nice. By the way, guys, what do you think of the idea of converting Fornals to a striker, Matt?
I think I don't think he will, because I think he likes the fact that he's already converted him from like an attacking midfielder to a winger. I think he's happy with it. But that being said, I could see him maybe look at like Vlasic. I could see him maybe trying to convert Vlasic or Bowen into a striker. I think he tried Bowen, and Bowen sort of said, "I prefer playing out on the wing."
Yeah.
But given his movement and his strength, I could see him maybe trying to convert Vlasic into a striker.
Yeah.
Chuck a name out there.
Yeah, there you go, mate. There you go. Need 15 points from 8 games left. GP saying we have a clean sheet, even cleaner than the fish tank. Yes, let's just ignore the fish tank. Hope Happy Amuret has smashing night. Yep, as we do. 6-0 West Ham from Alexander. Don't forget, Everton are still a great side. I think they are. I think they've always got that ability to be there as well. Gatesy, guys, is Anthony Gordon underrated simply because he's a homegrown player? Matt?
No, he's underrated because he's not playing for a Big 6 team. There
you go. There's your answer, Gatesy. Kimbo, Anton, it's going to be 3-1. Don't mess my bet up, mate. Listen, I'll take 3-1 right now. Robert Singleton, Gary got more chance of changing Dawson to a striker. Gatesy says, I think Gordon's a real threat tomorrow. Frank Butcher's in the house. Hope you're well, mate. 2-0 Irons. Avett. Stuart K, I think 3-1 to West Ham. 2 Kimbo. Anthony Gerrard looks like a real prospect. Skizzlebase says we don't seem to concede more than 1 goal too often. 2-1 West Ham. I'd like to score a lot more, though. 2-0 West Ham. Forrest, I agree, Anton. Thanks for the shout out. No worries, mate. House Street is about to be rewritten. What do we think of the 5 subs rule for next season, Matt?
Again, we got time.
Who put it in the comment? Who put it in our chat? Was it Cess or was it you? Someone wrote, you know, I can't wait to be winning 1-0 against Man City, and they throw 5 players on in the last 10 minutes that consist of De Bruyne. I can't even remember who it was. Like the top 5 best players, you know.
Today, like Liverpool had Trent Alexander-Arnold, Fabinho, Diaz, Mane, Henderson, like all sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
That just gives the big 6 the opportunity to, you know, for the manager to start a game and go, oh, it's not working, I'll change half the team. Now, admittedly, you've still only got 3 breaks, so they're keeping that. So it's like you've got to make 5 subs in 3 breaks. But you look at like Burnley this season. There's in times that this season Burnley have put out a subs bench and they've had like 2 first team squad players on it, and the rest of it's been kids. The teams down the bottom are financially struggling at the moment. So most of them haven't got more. Like you look at us, we haven't got more than like a 16-man squad of actual players that can make an impact. Whereas Liverpool, Man City, and to an extent Man United, have got 20, 25-man teams. You know,
Yeah.
I think Man United had like Rashford, Cavani, almost. You know, all it does is just make that gap between the big six and the rest bigger. That being said, though, that 14 teams had to vote it in, so that means that 8 other teams in the league outside the big six went, yeah, all right, we'll do it. Why? I don't know. I think, me personally, I think they should have said, you can have your 5 subs, but 2 of them have got to be academy players.
Yep. Listen, Matt, I need to stop you there because you'll go on all night, and I really need to go. I said I couldn't. I said I had to stop 15 minutes ago, so I'm going to quickly jump through the comments. Manolis is saying, I'm in London, can't wait for tomorrow. Hope you enjoy the game, mate. Is this your first time? Please let us know. If the show finishes by the time you put the comment in, leave the comment in the video, and we'll get back to you as well. Frank Butzer, just want to say, Julian Dick's tribute the other night with Rusty B was class. Nigel didn't let him get a word in edgeways. Poor bloke. So true, though. I mean, I had something else to do that night as well, but I stayed as long as I could to listen to it and watch it, and it was phenomenal. It was just bringing back so many memories. What it absolutely was. Mano, enjoy, mate. Hope you do. Trev saying the 5 subs rule will have to change, Moyes. I like small squad mentality. GP, let's start a Facebook group to get Russ to walk from Stratford to Lyon for charity. If West Ham don't win another game this year, is this year still a success?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go into it because we don't have it as well. Turf Moorhouse TV, please do these kits tomorrow up the Hammers. Hope you're well, mate. Good to see you here. Second time, mate. Hope to see you. I'm not there tomorrow, unfortunately, but I'll be down for the Lyon game. So if anyone's around, we can try and arrange to get a catch up as well. Great old pictures by yourself, Anton. I know, mate. Absolutely. The 5 subs rule is there to keep the big clubs and squad happy. I agree with Matt 100%. Listen, everyone, I'd love to stay on longer and chat through the several million comments that are coming through, which is lovely to see, but I do have to go. If I tell you the truth, it's my wife's birthday, and she's allowed me, literally, she was like, as long as it takes no longer than 30 minutes, and I am on 49 minutes, so I'm going to head. I want everyone to stay safe, keep themselves rocking all over the world. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, mate. I'm panicking. I can feel our eyes staring through the walls coming at me. Make sure you do join us tomorrow, though, because we do have the match day morning live from the stadium. So if you're watching right now, tune in tomorrow. I think it's like 8:30 a.m. Russ will be at the stadium, and he'll be doing a live show basically from the stadium, answering your questions. So make sure you do tune in. Then tune in later on in the day. I'll bring you the match day live, which will be cool. And hopefully we can go and get the 3 points. Thank you for joining us. If you are new around here, go and subscribe. Hit the bell notification. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, I will put the link in the chat one more time for you all to come over there, and you can click on that, and that will keep you going. But for now, stay safe, everyone, and get behind the team tomorrow. Come on, you Irons. Take it easy, Matt.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate,